Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside, so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson when you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And finally, it's most people's favorite. This is application, where we take the past concepts from other live lessons and we see how they apply to an actual, real song that already exists. And since there's like 1,000 different ways to play any song, you're just going to work on the version that is appropriate for your level. So that might just mean playing one note at a time for right now. Or maybe you're working on chords or covering the full song. Or maybe you're just seeing how the song breaks down so you can better write and transcribe your own songs in the future. But whatever your level is, the goal is not this song. So even if you don't play the whole entire song, you'll get better by even attempting a little bit of it, and attempt it we shall. This is Blue Monk. We're going to get to that in a second, but first, this is the incomparable Kendra, moderating the chat room.
Guess what? I finally finished the TV show Shadow and Bone, and it was so good.
Okay, so another friend of mine, totally unrelated, who doesn't know who you are, was telling me that they were watching it, and he's totally not a dude that I would expect to have any overlap at all with any of your interests, with all due respect to both of you. So, what is this show?
Okay, so it's really cool because it's based off of these books that I love, the Shadow and Bone series.
Okay.
But they add elements from the other companion book series called Six of Crows. So you have all the characters, well, not all, but a lot of the characters from both series, and they kind of intertwine the plot lines. And it's like there's a heist, and then there's a girl with magic powers, and then there's a super cool. It's so cool. The world building is phenomenal too.
He is not a high school girl. Yes, and okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Think,
I might go check this thing out then.
Yeah, I think it's like TV 14.
Yeah.
I think so. Like everyone 14 and older. I think. Well, not everyone, but you know.
All right. I think I'm
people.
going to check it out.
Yes.
All right. Cool. And it's based on Six of Crowns. Crows.
So close.
Six of Crows. Six of Crows.
Six of Crows. In Shadow and Bone.
In Shadow and Bone.
Because it's called Shadow and Bone.
Oh, that's the name of the book.
Yes.
Okay. Because he was telling me about it. I'm like, I think this is based on Kendra's books. Okay. Cool.
That's
well then.
awesome.
All right. That might happen. This needs to happen. This is Blue Monk. It is based on a 12-bar blues, which is not something we're really going to talk much about until we get to the intermediate level of this lesson. But let me go through and show you all of the notes here that are in the song. It looks really crazy, and it is crazy. Written by a crazy guy, and it's beautiful, written by a beautiful guy. So we're going to start here. I'm just going to show you all the notes. It looks honestly more intimidating than it actually is. So it's going to start here on a D. In order to find a D, you're just going to take any group of 2 black notes like those, not groups of 3. So don't use that. As long as you use groups of 2 black notes, you play the note in the middle. That's going to be a D. Cool. And then you're going to play all of the notes for 4 notes. So that one and that one and that one and that one. So all 4 of those notes right there are going to be our first 4 notes. And the words going alone. I would highly, highly recommend you say all the words as you play. That'll help you not get lost in the song, especially towards the end. People tend to get lost. Going alone. Okay, so we've got those 4 notes. And then we're going to do pretty much the same exact concept, not with the next note, but with the next note over. So starting on G this time, you don't have to know that it's a G, but we've already played those notes right there. We're going to skip up to the next white note and play those next 4 notes together. And that is Life is Your Own. So again, the first 4 are these, the next 4 are these. So it'd be Going Alone, and then Life is Your Own. Okay, cool. The next thing is terrifying, so we're not going to do it yet. We're going to try that with the track. It's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, Going Alone. Try that with me, starting on that D right there. These 4 notes, you can do this. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going alone. Life is your own. All right. Cool. Yeah. So you're starting to sound like a pianist, like a jazz pianist, perhaps. Going alone. Life is your own. Okay. So this next thing we got to do is going to show up like a billion times in the song. And all of it is fine except for 1 note of it makes the whole thing crazy. So we're going to go to this note right here, this F. This is the highest of those first 4 that we played. So we're going to play the F, and we're going to go 1 note to the right and then come right back. So that's not too terrible. That's F and G and F. And then we're going to play the next note down and the next note down. So the weirdness of this song is that it has so many half steps in there. We're not like skipping over notes. Usually we go from like a white note to a white note or a black note to a black note. And this time we're just like mixing it all up in there. So F and G and F, and then next note over, and then we're going to go to this note here, but we're going to dip down first and hit the note that's on the other side of it and drag it up. So we're going to go F, G, F, E, E flat, or F, 1 note over, come back, next note over, aim for the next note over, but first dip down and come up to it like that. But the 1 note that messes up this whole thing is this crazy low F right here. So the words are, but sometimes the cost is so dear. And for the is, we've got to go all the way down to this F down here. Sorry, I know we already had an F up there. You wanted it to be that F. It's not. So we got to go, but sometimes the cost is so dear. That'll take some practice, but that's going to show up, like I said, 3 more times in the song, something like that. This next section right here is after we do that crazy part. Then we're going to go kind of back to that thing that we were doing. That whole thing. But this time we're going to go, there we go. Starting on G, like we did before. But now we're going to pick up at this note and do the exact same thing starting there. So these 2 sets of 4 go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, cool. So then it's like the thing we had before, but it's just different sets of 4. And then we get to do this thing, that again. So these first 2 lines are made up of sets of 4 and then the crazy thing. So going alone, life is your own, but sometimes the cost is so dear. Cool. And then we're going to go up to this G and do those 2 sets of 4. Being complete, knowing defeat, keeping on from year to year. All right, now I just need a bunch of Fs. A high one and then a low one. Actually, 4 high ones and then a low one. It takes some doing. There you go. It takes some doing. And then we're going to do that thing twice in a row. Monkery's the blues that you hear. Keeping on from year to year. The second one doesn't start with the same rhythm as the rest of them do. Like you play them all just straight through, but we're used to starting right on beat 1, or right at like the beginning of like a heavy part of the song. And this one's gonna go and then on the next one after the heavy beat, because the heavy beat's gonna land right here, that's where we're gonna start our next one. So one of them starts right there on a heavy beat, and that's all gonna feel normal. The next one is where everybody gets messed up because it doesn't start on a heavy beat. It starts right after a heavy beat on beat 2. So that one right there is the exact same thing, but it's gonna feel like it's not the same thing because the rhythm is different. Okay, so one more time. Going alone, life's your own, crazy thing. Being complete, no defeat, crazy thing. F, crazy thing, twice in a row. Let's try it with the track. I know like 95% of you are like, wait, hang on, I haven't even practiced this thing. I understand what you're talking about, but I don't know it yet. That's fine. Just get all the notes that you can. Maybe just the first 4 notes here. And then if you miss the whole next section, that's fine. We'll loop it back around and you can jump in with us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going alone. Life is your own, but sometimes the cost is so dear. Be complete, no defeat. Being on from year to year. It takes some doing. Okay, again. Going alone. Sometimes the cost is so dear. Being complete, no defeat. Being from year to year. It takes some doing. Monkery's the blues. Okay, your turn. Ready, go. Go alone. Life is your own, but sometimes the cost is so. Okay, here comes the next one. Next line. Be complete. Yep. It takes some doing. One more time. Here we go. Going alone. It's your own. Start on G. It takes some. Okay, together, here we go. Going alone, life is your own. So we're going to add in eventually in the intermediate level of this lesson some chords and stuff to make this thing sound a little bit fuller. But that's all for the beginner's level, which means it's time for the feature of the day.
Hey, Jamin.
The track is still playing.
Yes, it's still going. I don't.
Does it not stop?
What?
Can you stop the track?
Oh. Yes,
There we
yes, I can stop the track.
Cool.
That's
you
right.
were saying.
It's time for the feature of the day, which today is Mailbag, and it's Who Do You Listen To?
Yeah, so Kendra, first of all, who do you listen to?
Like his music?
Yeah.
Like pop stuff.
Yeah,
I like
cool.
cinematic. I like Imagine Dragons.
Okay, yep. You went to one of their concerts?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
cool.
fun.
Yeah, all right. A lot of fun.
Like some Billie Eilish,
Yeah,
Ruel.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So generally, the stuff I listen to, yeah, all right, we'll start there. So I generally don't listen to jazz, honestly, very much while I'm just like doing stuff because I'm usually very distracted by it. So I listen almost exclusively to jazz when I'm listening to music. But if I just got music playing in the background, then this sentence right here is it's a really diverse playlist, which is I think what every single student that I've ever taught ever has said. When I say who do you listen to, then pretty much everybody says I listen to pretty much this sentence I listen to pretty much everything except for rap. Is been that one's like because everyone likes to think that they've got a really diverse palette, and they don't understand that most people don't. They have their favorite eras and stuff, but so a lot of my stuff is like the gospel-ish or R&B-ish stuff from like the 70s and stuff, but and then a lot of country. So that's what I'm listening to just in the background, and then the jazz stuff I've just got to pay attention to it because it grabs my attention, so I try not to play it if I'm trying to get other stuff done. But that's the stuff that I listen to. It's not jazz all the time. It's mostly not jazz, but anyway, I want to check out the intermediate level of this lesson and add in some chords. Let's go. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out, and if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.